Muzoon, can you tell us a little bit about your story and your life in living in Syria?
Okay, hello everyone. First, I'm from Syria. So in Syria before the war, life was as a normal life. Loved the school, go to school. I have friends and relatives. Also, my father was a teacher. Also, the community of Syria, it's a diverse community. For example, I have friends from different religions. In my school, it was many students who are Christians and Muslims students, so it was such a mixed community, and all the people love each other's. It's such a good life, and all of us love each other, and we have such active relationship.
Then the war happened, and you went to Jordan and were living in the camps. Tell us what happened and what life was like when you were living in Jordan.
Actually, when I moved from Syria to Jordan, I was worried about my education because I thought maybe I couldn't continue my education in the camps because it's a new place. I don't know anything about the camp. Also, when I arrived at the camp, I found education. Also, I found I can get a chance to get in my education. So I was really happy to have this chance. Also, one of the things I was happy because I brought my books from Syria to Jordan because I know the value of education, and without education we cannot do anything.
So next time you're complaining about schoolwork, maybe you'll think a little bit differently. And one of the things that you started doing is trying to spread that message to the other girls in the camps who weren't getting their educations. They were having early marriages and things like that. So tell us a little bit about why you started taking action.
Actually, I started my campaign in the camp because I was so happy to get in my education in the camp. But when I arrived, when I went to my school in the camps, I shocked when I saw many girls who were dropping out of school and who are getting married. Also, most of them think the education it is not important and it is not a priority. So I knew that without education we cannot do anything. We cannot be strong people. We cannot face challenges in our life. So I told myself I should do something in this community. I want to be positive. I know it is so hard to change these things in the communities like early marriage and to convince people to continue their education, but I started my campaign. I said we need education because we need a strong generation and educated generation. For this reason, because I believe in education and I believe the education it is the strongest weapon to face the challenges and to help our country in the future. Just we can do that by the education. I started that.
How old were you when you were doing that?
I started that I was 14.
Okay. One of the things that happened there was you met Malala and you became involved with the Malala Foundation. How did that happen?
That happened in Zatri camp in Jordan. Malala came and visited the camp, so we became friends and close friends. So now we are doing many things together with Malala and with Malala Fund. We do to work for the education and to raise the voice of education for all the children.
Tell us a little bit what life's like in the camp. You know, you and I talked about the fact that we all take our smartphones for granted and we take Instagram and social media contacting our friends, but that's not the case. So tell us some of the role of kind of technology and things in the camp and what's like.
Of course, when I was in the camp, in Zatri and in Azraq, because I lived in 2 refugee camps in Jordan, there was no electricity, there was no internet, it was lack in the technology. So it was really hard to don't have internet and communications with the people because, you know, the electricity is an important part of life in this time of period of life. So it was really hard for the people to communicate with each others and especially to communicate with the people in Syria. Also electricity, you know, the people don't have TV. Also, especially in the education, they cannot get in the technology in the schools to get in good education. One of the things now I face with my friends in the camps, sometimes I try to communicate with them, but I couldn't because they don't have good internet. Also, they don't have electricity. So it is really big problem in the camps right now.
You ended up coming to the UK, and you're living in Newcastle now.
Yeah.
Tell us how that happened, and tell us about your life, your new life in the UK.
When I was in the camp in Jordan, I had the chance to come to the UK. First, I lived in Jordan 3 years. Actually, I was doing my campaign for the education, and I was really happy to do that for my girls and boys of my country. But when I had the chance to come here, my father told me it is going to be better for you if you will leave for your university and for your education. Then I came to Newcastle. I'm really happy to be in Newcastle. I found friendly people, good community, and good. It was really good welcome from the people in Newcastle. But I cannot say everything it was easy. You know, everything in the beginning it is hard thing. For example, I faced with the accent in Newcastle. It was Geordie accent. It was really hard accent. Also, the system of education, because it is different system. So now I'm treating with this system. I try my best to get in high results and to do well in my school. And that's it.
So what class are you in now at school, and what are you studying?
Yeah, I'm doing A-levels right now because last year when I came, I did GCSEs. Now I'm doing A-levels. My A-levels related about media because I want to study media. I want to become a journalist, so it is related about.
Great career, great career. So tell us a little bit about what your plans are for the future and what you want to do to kind of further this campaign. You've done some incredible work. You've talked in a lot of different places and you've traveled the world. Tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing and how you hope to change things going forward.
Of course, I will fight for the right of education forever because education, it is not just important in a specific place or time. Education, it is important any time and place, and because as you see now what's happening in Syria, so we should be strong people to help children of my country to get in their rights of education, because now, not just for the Syrian children, I want to see all the children all over the world can get in their right of education, especially 12 years of education, because that's so important. So I'm not doing that just for the Syrian children, but for all children all over the world. My goal is to fight for the right of education and to see all the girls and boys can get in this precious and valuable right for the children.
And when you see people talking about the Syrian war that's going on, refugees in the news, is it strange to think that that the kids that you know are just like the people here, and the same thing could happen to any of us, really? And it's like, how much is that? How strange has that been?
To be a refugee, it is. I never thought I will be a refugee one day, because I don't know what will happen in my country or where I live. So it is not my choice to be a refugee. Also, because I became a refugee because hard situation. Most of people think if I became a refugee, I cannot do anything or I'm a weak person. No, I will tell them a refugee is a strong person, because I left from country which has conflict and hard situation to safe place to continue my life, to continue my hopes and dreams. So I should be proud of the name of refugee. Also, I will tell you, maybe one of you one day, I don't hope you to be refugees, but maybe you will be one day refugee, and you would like the people to welcome you and love you and to look you as normal people. I don't wish the people to be refugees or to have hard situation. We hope to see the peace all over the world. But also, if I expected myself, I became a refugee, I would love the people to love me and to treat me as a normal person.
So we've got a lot of young people in the audience here today who are your age and younger. What's your message to them and how they can help you spread the message of education?
My message to them is anybody can do something. They can do as much as they can. Also, maybe I can share message in social media, can help people and give them hope. So anything I think about it or I can imagine it, I can do it, and as much as I can help people.
Can everyone please give an enormous round of applause?
Thank you.
Muzoon.
Thank you very much.